Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So it's been a minute, but a lot has happened, as we have all seen, and the plot just keeps on thickening. Prince Seso's brother, who has stepped down, he is the brother of Prince Seso, who has recently resigned from the Sentebale charity amid the racial accusations from our beloved Dr Sophie Sentebale against Harry and his PR Sussex machine. And we know, of course, she is also talking about Meghan, and she branded them as toxic and their union basically as toxic, and everything that comes with them as toxic, which is plain and clear for everybody to see. So Prince Seso's brother has come forward, and he's essentially said that Harry's marriage and move to the United States of America killed the charitable spirit within Harry, essentially sucking dry all of the goodness that he had through his union with this succubus lady. That's the only way I can really describe it. So this is an article from the Daily Mail, but the original one was published to the Telegraph, which is a publication that I enjoy to read as well. And it's titled Sentebale Volunteers Say Prince Harry Lost Interest in Charity After Marrying Meghan. Harry lost interest in his Sentebale charity after marrying the Duchess of Sussex and moving to the US. According to the brother of Prince Seso, the charity's co-founder, Harry's dwindling attention killed the spirit of the charity after he married Meghan in 2018. The royal founded the organisation in 2006 in memory of his late mother, Diana, and titled it Sentebale, translation to Forget Me Not. Harry lost interest in it after leaving and marrying this new spouse. According to Prince Seso's brother, the charity's co-founder, says that Harry's dwindling attention killed it and killed the charity in essence. However, the pair stepped down last month, and he's referring to Prince Seso and Harry, of course, after a string of allegations from the charity's chairman, Sophie Sentebale. Harry last visited Lesotho in October 2024, but it was his first in 6 years. He had jetted over more frequently beforehand, making 4 trips between June 2010 and the end of 2015. Prince Seso's brother, Chief Koban Theko, I hope I'm saying that correctly, said he was perturbed when Harry and Meghan failed to visit Lesotho when on holiday in Africa. And of course, we know that Meghan really doesn't do charity work. She doesn't really do anything for free unless she has some kind of surmise or benefit from it. And I do believe that this was her handiwork, and she didn't want Harry, and doesn't, and I'm going to get into that in another video, doesn't want Harry to do any charity work. And there is a nefarious reason for this, and why. Speaking to the Telegraph, the chief said he believes the Duke of Sussex could have visited a lot more often. When Sentebale was launched, I remember his words quite vividly, because he was very strong in saying, "My mother displays her passion about Africa," and all of that. The chief, who was not aware Harry had visited Lesotho twice since his marriage, added, "He's a loved figure because of his openness, but his loss of interest has totally killed the spirit of Sentebale's survival." And of course, he's talking about the financial funding that Harry's association with Sentebale did bring. It was a mutually beneficial relationship between Prince Seso and Lesotho and the country as a whole, because with the press and the media attention that a public figure at the time, who was very loved, he was only second in line to the Queen, in as much as he was a favourite royal over here. Everybody had a liking for Harry in light of his issues, in light of his episodes and his racially fueled comments back in the past. He did win over the British public, and he did get forgiveness for his misgivings and his misdeeds, and he assumed the role of being one of the most down-to-earth, relatable royals. All of that, of course, has gone, and he's lost a lot of things. His reputation that he once had, before he married Meghan is now in the dustbin. So it goes on to say here, I haven't seen him since he got himself married. It comes after earlier this month, Harry accused Dr. Chandaka of telling blatant lies as Britain's charities watchdog launched an investigation into concerns about how the charity he set up in his mother's memory has been run. The Charity Commission opened a regulatory compliance case a week after Harry quit as a patron and demanded the resignation of Dr. Sophie Sentebale. She refused, took legal action to remain in post, and reported her concerns to the Charity Commission, who responded by announcing an official investigation. And so we're still waiting for that day when they actually release their findings or it goes to court and we get some kind of conclusion and the High Commission sheds more light as to what her concerns were, what her legal points are, and what she wants to be addressed in court regarding the running of Sentebale. Now, we know that Dr. Sophie Sentebale's family, of course, are the third largest donors to the Sentebale organisation, and they do support 530 employees, which in turn means that they do directly hire 530 families. They essentially are feeding 530 families through the Sentebale organisation. So it's extremely important to her and it's an issue that's close to her heart. Sophie's involvement in the charity has been long-standing and she was actually affiliated with the charity all the way back as early as 2012. So she's not just a random person. This is nothing new. And a lot of the Sussex squad seem to think and act like, oh, this lady just jumped on board in 2024 and now she's messing stuff up. And that's just simply not the case. Dr. Sophie Sentebale has been a member of the Sentebale organisation and a supporter, and she actually stepped away and resigned from the charity. She was never the chair, but she only became the chair in 2024. So she stepped back from supporting the efforts when she realised that it was doing well. That was all the way back in 2015. And then, of course, when Harry married this wanton woman, everything kind of hit the wind and they lost a lot of donors and sponsors and supporters within that union, because Meghan, of course, with all of her bad press, her bad behaviour, her hissy fits, her demands, and her rudeness and her disrespect to so many people on multiple accounts, they lost sponsorship. So she had to step in again, having been a long time supporter and donor to the charity herself, because she doesn't get paid. And she had to find new sponsors. She had to find a way to image and rebrand the charity. Along with that, she received a pushback from Meghan, blatant disrespect, rudeness. She was treated as the help, and it all fell to the wayside. And now we have this in-house fighting, which is not a surprise because everywhere Meghan goes, she has in-house fighting. Where has this woman gone where she doesn't have that? That's just a part of who she is. She's not a nice person. So the article carries on here. Since his resignation, Dr. Sophie Sentebale has called the Sussex's brand toxic and accused Harry of harassment and bullying at a large scale. She also suggested Harry is playing the victim card and said, really, what Prince Harry wanted to do was to eject me from the organisation, and this went on for months. I have proof, I have documentation. Now we know that her ejection from the organisation, of course, happened after she refused to, as she said, or quote unquote, support Meghan and Harry's PR efforts to turn Meghan's sullied, scoundrel-like, or should we say scandalous public image into a nice brief. She refused to do it. She said, this is charity work. This is not PR. I'm not going to be paid off by you guys to say the Duchess wasn't rude to me. The Duchess wasn't dismissive to me. The Duchess didn't treat me like the help, because she couldn't validate those points or go to the press and tell untruths. That's what I think it really was. And Meghan didn't like that. So she said, you know what? You've got to get rid of this woman. And obviously, when Sophie became chair, everything just got 10 times worse. Now, I personally see this article as an admission on behalf of Princesso that even though he stepped down in support of Harry, he's backtracking and he's regretting that decision. He's, of course, not going to come out and say anything until the High Commission has started their briefings, I imagine. So it's going to unfold a lot further. But this is an admission that he's kind of seen the media storm. He's seen what's going on. He knows that it's wrong. He may have even been highly persuaded or manipulated by Meghan to support her husband in order to make Sophie look like the one in the wrong here. But I think they know that they don't really have a case in law, and she has facts. She's an esteemed, qualified lawyer. She doesn't need the money. And so she's going to have her day in court, and we know who's going to come out on the bottom. And so this is an admission of Princesso. I do believe that he wants to resume his role on the board of the charity. But he, of course, was supporting Harry, but all of that is hit the fan. This lady has facts, and it's about to get ugly. So with all that being said, guys, I'll be back with another one. Bye.